Hello, everyone. My name is James Herriot, a veterinary surgeon. I had known Mrs. Pumphrey and her family for many years, and I was also the doctor who treated their beloved pet Tricky. One day, as I stopped my car on the roadside, I saw Mrs. Pumphrey walking with Tricky. The moment I looked at him, my heart sank. He had become enormously fat. He looked like a bloated sausage with 4 tiny legs. His eyes were red and rheumy. His tongue hung lazily from his mouth. He looked exhausted. Mrs. Pumphrey immediately began explaining. Mr. Herriot. He seemed so weak that I thought he wasn't getting enough nourishment. So I started giving him a little malt, cod liver oil, and a bowl of Horlicks before bedtime. I looked at her and asked, "Did you reduce the sweets as I advised?" She smiled nervously. I did. For a while. But he looked so helpless. He loves cream cakes and chocolates so much. I simply couldn't refuse him. At that moment, I understood everything. Tricky's greatest weakness wasn't illness. It was food. He never refused anything to eat. I was sure Mrs. Pumphrey wasn't telling me the whole story. "Does he get enough exercise?" I asked. "He walks a little with me," she replied. "But our gardener has back pain, so they haven't been playing their usual games." Now I spoke firmly. "If you don't reduce his food and increase his exercise immediately, he will become seriously ill." Mrs. Pumphrey sighed deeply. "I know you're right, but it's so difficult." As they walked away, I watched Tricky struggling in his little tweed coat. Something told me I would be hearing from her very soon, and I was right. Only a few days later, the phone rang. Mrs. Pumphrey was terrified. Tricky had stopped eating. He was vomiting repeatedly. He lay on a blanket all day, breathing heavily, refusing even his favorite foods. I had already decided what needed to be done. "The only way to save him," I said, "is to keep him in my hospital for about 2 weeks." Mrs. Pumphrey almost fainted. She believed Tricky couldn't survive without her. But there was no other choice. Wrapped in a blanket, Tricky was carried to my car. Behind us came the servants carrying his beds, cushions, toys, bowls, rubber rings, and even his little coats. It looked as if someone was shifting an entire house. There wasn't enough room for everything. As I drove away, Mrs. Pumphrey threw his tiny coats through the car window. Everyone stood there in tears. I gently stroked Tricky's head. "Poor fellow," I whispered. "You've lost all your strength, but I know exactly how to make you healthy again." At the hospital, the other dogs surrounded him. They sniffed him curiously before losing interest and running away. For the first 2 days, Tricky received nothing except fresh water. On 3rd day, he started licking the empty bowls. He was also given a common food along with other household dogs. No special food, no ice creams, no cream cakes, no chocolates, of course, no medicines, no rich food, no special treatment. By the 3rd day, he became curious. He slowly followed the other dogs into the garden. Soon he became a member of the pack. During feeding time, he watched eagerly as the other dogs rushed toward their bowls. The next day, he joined them. From that moment, everything changed. He ran, he played ring catching, he played ball catching. He literally enjoyed the company of household dogs. He ran in the garden along with other dogs. He wrestled, he chased rats. He fought happily for his share of food. Without a single medicine, without a single surgery, Tricky slowly became healthy again. Mrs. Pumphrey talked to me regularly about dogs' health on phone. When I was not available, she simply roamed in her car around my pet clinic. Meanwhile, Mrs. Pumphrey called several times every day. "Is he warm enough? Are his cushions arranged properly?" When I told her he was recovering, she immediately began sending dozens of fresh eggs, then bottles of wine, then bottles of brandy. all meant for Tricky. All food supplies sent by Mrs. Pumphrey to be fed to Tricky, to strengthen Tricky's health. Of course, it was not Tricky who enjoyed them. My colleagues and I certainly did. I didn't give a single egg to the dog, but we ate them. I didn't give wine and brandy to the dog, but we enjoyed it regularly for 2 weeks. Me and my staff were eating the food meant for Tricky. Seems not nice. Right. We kept the dog on a strict diet. No special food at all. Gave only common food along with other household dogs. Those became unforgettable days. Fresh eggs in the morning, wine at lunch, and brandy by the fire in the evening. For a moment, I almost wished Tricky could stay with us forever. It's too rude. Enjoying at the expense of a dog belongs to a rich family. But Mrs. Pumphrey would not live peacefully without him. But after 2 weeks, he was completely transformed. He was slim, strong, energetic, healthy. I made a phone call to her to come and collect him. She came to my surgery within minutes. When Mrs. Pumphrey arrived, in her luxurious black car, I went inside. Tricky was busy and playing with the household dogs in the garden. When he was finally brought, Tricky jumped straight into Mrs. Pumphrey's lap, wagging his tail and licking her face with excitement. She was overwhelmed with joy. As she drove away, she leaned out of the car window and said, "Oh, Mr. Herriot, I don't know how to thank you. This truly has been a triumph of surgery.
Thank you so much.
But we know the real truth.
Everything.
True care doesn't mean fulfilling every wish. It means doing what is best for the ones we love. Sometimes the kindest word we can say is simply, no." Thank you for watching.